Hi everyone, you are welcome back to another edition of our program. This time we look at what happened in Jamb's office, which goes in our title, Terrorism in Nigerian Jamb Admission. Southeast students' Western education targeted or target Nigerian government and its parastatals and organizations should be very, very careful when dealing with issues concerning the Igbos, the southeastern region, and also the south-south. To some extent, this is very, very important because these regions are vulnerable and are always hated, targeted, and marginalized. Therefore, it becomes imperative that they are not being provoked to react in any situation in Nigeria. The things Nigerian government do against the Igbos has made the region to lack faith, trust, and unsympathetic to whatever they do to them. Therefore, it is very, very important any mistake within the Nigerian context should not be geared towards the region, just like what has taken place within the Jamb terroristic attitude towards the southeastern region. Why it is terroristic is because the Jamb had done a thorough search and upgrading of all the servers in other regions of the country, and they failed to do that of the southeast, knowing fully well the implication of what they have done. This is simply interpreted as the usual hatred and marginalized system of putting southeastern, the Igbos of the land. Therefore, whatever reaction Jamb and even the Nigerian government received out of this should be taken as part of what they have created. Let us make this reference because it is not only the Igbos that are reacting, but some who have sympathy for the Igbos are also doing so. Let us check what the Punch newspaper of May 19th, 2025 stated in its editorial article. It says, Jamb's software flaw exposes lapses in Nigerian edutech. A failed software update during Nigeria's 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination has exposed significant vulnerabilities in the country's digital examination infrastructure, affecting nearly 380 candidates and raising urgent questions about the reliability of the nation's education technology stroke system. The newspaper disclosed that a critical patch was not deployed to server clusters in Lagos and Southeast, leading to widespread scoring errors, incomplete uploads, and missing questions, according to a technical review obtained by the Punch, unquote. Then the question is, for those who do not know what a patch in computer is, it is defined as a set of changes to a computer program or its supporting data designed to update, fix, or improve it. This includes fixing security vulnerabilities and other bugs and improving usability or performance. That is what this very particular thing they did not put or upgrade in computers in the systems covering the southeast of Nigeria. They are criticized because they failed in the patch management, which is a process of distributing and applying updates to the software as we defined earlier. This is necessary to correct errors in the software being used by the Joint Matriculation Examination Board. This failure has led to a glitch, and a glitch in computer is defined as a temporary malfunction or irregularity in a computer system, software, or digital communication. It can manifest as visual distortions, audio disturbances, or functional issues in software, hardware, or electronic system. The inability of the Joint Matriculation Board engineers and software officers' failure to upgrade all these centers we are going to mention now makes it to look as if it is terrorism, terroristic act against Southeastern region students who applied and took the examination. For those who are aware of the type of politics Nigerians play, especially between the Western region and Northern region against the Southeastern region, one would not hesitate to say it is terrorism. Terrorism in every center where the Igbos are located. Let us see these centers as mentioned by the Punch newspapers. The glitch impacted 157 testing centers, 65 in Lagos State and 92 in Southeast, where outdated servers failed to correctly process examination responses. Over 78% of the affected candidates scored below 200-point benchmark for university admission, sparking alarm among students, parents, and educators, unquote. Now, if it were to be in advanced country, because Nigeria is still living and being ruled by the ideology of the 17th century, the leaders operate on the analog system. If it were to be in Europe, Asia, and America, the officers in charge of these very departments, or those who upgraded other centers from other regions, but failed to upgrade that of southeast of Nigeria, would have been in trouble. They could have been arrested, prosecuted, and punished for anti-terrorism act because they terrorized those from the southeast of Nigeria and the Igbos also in Lagos. Anyone with full knowledge of software and the duties of software engineers in companies will realize that their duties include maintenance, creation, auditing, improving systems to meet specific needs. They are also employed as cyber security analysts, information system managers, technical support officers, multimedia programmers, and so on and so forth. And these are the jobs they do in the Joint Matriculation Board Computer Department. Since it is understood that the glitches that took place in Lagos were purely at the centers where the Igbo students took their examinations and those of Southeast, while the technical department of Jamb office are being blamed, the managers and the chief executives were also to be held responsible for not controlling the system, ensure that all zonal centers where the examinations were to be taken must pass the initial test of control before the final date of the examination. Unfortunately, they did not consider it appropriate to do the control. This brings everyone who understands the world today that terrorism can be implied in every system, and also tribalism applies as well, including religious differences. These are the key things that have been responsible for differences in Nigeria. One, the issue of tribalism, religion, and the hatred, which leads to marginalization of the Igbos. They never took this into account when preparing for the examinations in the southeastern region of Nigeria and Lagos State, where they had also been continuously attacked, marginalized, and asked to leave Lagos State. These are the key things that makes this attitude of the Joint Matriculation Board actions to be seen as terroristic in approach. Everybody is happy that the registrar has taken the responsibility of the failures of the officers. But what will the registrar do to the officers who deliberately acted like the government of APC under Buhari, whereby the Igbos were generally marginalized in everything, including the Chinese loan of $5.851 billion from China Exim Bank, whereby the omission of the Southeastern Region Rail Line project, which led to the modernization of Lagos, Kano, Kaduna, Lagos, Ibadan, and Lagos Calabar rail segment. Then the Southeastern region was also ignored and marginalized. All the federal appointments and good jobs are being denied. The marginalization went as far as state creation, the number of states in the country, road development, infrastructural development, seaports, airports. All these are not, including federal parastatals that can give job to the indigenes of the state, have been denied them, and became eventually the Joint Matriculation Board, which undertakes the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination that decided in 2025 to technically sideline the southeastern region of Igbo extraction. These are the key things which the government of APC and those they appointed cannot deny of not being terroristic and marginalization in action based on tribalism and religion. The registrar's sympathy and cries in the public did not attract much sympathy from the southeast of Nigeria, following the attitude of federal government, APC, towards the Igbos. Before we conclude this very program, we would like to know the registrar, Professor Isaac Loyode, the Jamb registrar is. We would like to know him and what he represents. Many people do not know what he represents, and as he cried, he has shown his sympathy, but what is behind the sympathy is unknown. And because Nigerians have witnessed various officers marginalizing the Igbos and coming out to show sympathy in one way or the other, this becomes a usual norm, which the Igbos no longer accept as a norm to show that they have made mistake. Professor Isaac Olarwaju Oloyede was born on October 1954, according to his Wikipedia, in Abeokuta South Local Government area of Ogun State. He had his secondary school in Progressive Institute, Agege, Lagos. He learned Arabic and Islamic studies between 1973 to 1976 at the Arabic Training Center, Agege, Lagos. He received a certificate in Arabic and Islamic studies at the University of Ibadan in 1977 and a bachelor's degree in Arabic at the University of Ilorin in 1981. In July 1982, he was appointed an assistant lecturer in the Department of Religious Studies of the same university, and later obtained his doctorate degree in Islamic Studies. He is a fellow of Islamic Academy of Cambridge, United Kingdom, Nigerian Institute of Arabic and Islamic Studies, and editorial board of the Center for Islamic Legal Studies, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. He served at the National Interreligious Council and the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. All are as stated in his Wikipedia. In 2005, he was appointed by President Olusegun Obasanjo as co-secretary of the National Political Reform Conference, and finally in 2016, the Jamb registrar by Muhammadu Buhari. Since 2016, he has been the registrar of Jamb. This is the Jamb registrar that publicly accepted responsibility, apologized, and announced a fresh retake of exam for all affected candidates. Starting May 16th, the rescheduled exams are planned to avoid conflicts with other national tests, unquote. Now, this problem for which the registrar apologized came to light on the 9th of May 2025, when the founder of Educare, Alex Onya, observed unusual discrepancies in student performance through the Educare learning platform. This ultimately shows that Jamb had no quality control of their job. Therefore, he is obliged not only to apologize to the Nigerian public and to the affected students, but also must have to pay compensation to those students who had been traumatized in one way or the other, and at the same time being pushed to go and retake the examination in such a short period. In another subjection, the Jamb ordered a retake of the examination without giving the children more time to prepare, more time to gather themselves, but mandated them to retake the examination without even this time preparing for it. These are the elements of treatment and the subjections which is detrimental to the mental state of the children, most of them being in anxiety, and were forced to retake this examination. Everyone has watched what took place. It is the duty of everyone to judge. They push the children to take the examination. If the performance is not good due to anxiety, the shock of the cancellation of the results, and also the immediate reschedule to retake the examination. Well, it is, we do not want to emphasize on the vulnerability of Igbo children or Igbo candidates over the issues surrounding the religious problems in the north, in the southwest, and eventually the terrorists mandating all their captives to become Muslims, while the Jamb problem can be traced on the same note. May God Almighty deliver those who have been subjected to this torture. With this, we come to the end of this very program. We ask you to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. Until we come to you once again, thank you and be blessed. Bye.